Okay, now please follow the steps on the screen. I want you to skim and scan paragraph 3, 4, and 5. When you skim, I want you to identify the topic sentence, and when you scan, I want you to number the supporting sentences. So please pause the video lecture. When you're done, come back to the lecture to listen to my explanation and also to check whether or not we have the same outline for each paragraph. Okay, so I assume you just did what I asked you to do. Now let's take a look at the third paragraph. You will discover opportunities. So let me read it for you. Many job opportunities are not advertised or listings are posted on job boards only after the hiring manager or supervisor has a candidate in mind. During conversations before and after sessions and during the social parts of a conference, you might discover that a company is looking to fill a position. Or you may find out more about your dream company from talking to conference attendees and be able to connect with someone for an informational interview once the event is over. So the topic sentence here is of course the first sentence, and it basically means job opportunities might not always be visible. Visible means you can see it clearly online or on the newspaper, but some job opportunity might not be advertised. So how do you know about those opportunities? You know them from attending conferences. So when you attend a business conference, you can discover job vacancy. And you can also learn more about your dream company by talking to people from the field you are interested in. And more importantly, once you get their contact, you might be able to fix yourself an informational interview. So, what is an informational interview? An informational interview is conducted to collect information about a job, a field, an industry, or a company. It is not a job interview. Instead, it is a chance to speak with a person working in the field you like to know more about. So the question is, how do you ask for an informational interview? So if you do go to a conference, then when you get people's contact like email or business card, you can write a polite email to ask whether or not this is a possibility. Okay, so this is how you ask for an informational interview. But make sure your email is written properly. When you attend an informational interview, there are three main benefits, including interviewing without stress. So, an informational interview is not that stressful for both you and the employer. You are the one in control. You can discuss what is done on a day to day basis and relate it to your own interests and feelings. Beyond the advantages of gaining valuable career information, this kind of interview gives you the opportunity to build self confidence and to improve your ability to handle a job interview. So, once you finish this informational interview, you will have a better idea of the work environment or the types of questions you might get in the real job interview. And the second one is you might get insider information. Because this conversation does not center around the job, it can be a bit more honest or frank, asking about topics that are typically taboo. Taboo meaning no in the first formal interview, like salary, benefits, and hours. These topics are not off limit, they are acceptable. You may find that the person you are speaking with will share tough aspects of the industry as well as positive one. You may also get tips and advice that will help you strengthen your application. And then finally, you can use the informational interview to build relationships. A big part of a successful job search is who you know. Human contact, connection is crucial. Your connections may know about jobs that aren't posted yet or can make valuable introduction. Through this informational interview, you are expanding your network. So, knowing people or networking is the key. Okay, so for the fourth paragraph, you'll get ideas and inspirations. Here, let me read it first. Like a brainstorming session, a conference can be a good way to generate ideas. You may find that after a conference, you find a new field you are interested in pursuing or a new type of job. Any great way to take advantage of being at a conference. Ask everyone you meet and particular people you admire how they got to their position. You may even find a person who will eventually be your mentor through a conference. So, of course, the topic sentence here is the beginning. A conference is a good brainstorming session. So, a brainstorming session is an activity where people try to come up with ideas together. And by attending conferences, you might learn something that you don't know before, and this can be something interesting to you. And you can also learn from other people's work experience to help you decide whether or not this is right for you. And if you're lucky enough, you can get yourself a mentor. So who is a mentor? A mentor is someone who shares their knowledge and expertise with you in order to help you set goals, fix problems, and make good choices along your career path. Okay? So if you can find someone like this, your career will be more smooth. You might find it a lot easier to get to the positions you want. Okay, so again, it's about networking. Finally, the last paragraph, you will improve your job search skills. So let me read it again. Does small talk make you anxious, or does presenting or asking questions in a large group leave you sweaty and blushing? Do you stumble over your elevator pitch? A conference can be a place to practice those skills, which are often essential for successful interview and on-the-job performance. So you can see this paragraph start with questions. When we see questions, we want answers. So the topic sentence here should be the answers that follow these three questions. A conference can be a place for you to practice these skills. How to make small talks, and how to give presentation and ask questions, and more importantly, how to give an elevator pitch. Okay, so these things are already mentioned in the previous lecture. So now let's turn to the final section, the conclusion. Plus, what to do when the conference is over. You are missing out if you think of a conference as just being a day-long or weekend-long event. Once the event is over, it's time to follow up with the people you met at the conference. So after reading the article, you know when you attend the conference, you can learn about your industry, you can make connections, you can discover opportunities, you can get ideas, inspiration, and finally you can improve your job search skills. But when it's over, you also need to keep in close contact with the people that are important or useful for your job. Okay? The easiest ways to do this is to connect on LinkedIn. Last week I told you what LinkedIn is. It's a good idea to sign up for LinkedIn. You can also follow new connections on Twitter, a more time consuming task, but one that can solidify a connection is to write an email to each person you met. So if you want to have a more solid relationship or show people your sincerity, write an email to them. They might feel touched. Reference your conversation and let the person know you like to stay in touch. Okay? So I hope you find this article useful, and I also hope this article gives you a new perspective of business conferences. That's it for today. Thank you for your time and participation. Goodbye.